Welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K23 Next Gen. In today's video, we have another 5-year prospect rebuild. And today, we have Cameron Whitmore to the Detroit Pistons. The Pistons were undoubtedly the biggest losers of the draft lottery. They finished this year with the worst record in basketball, winning only 17 games. Cade Cunningham was injured. He only played 12. And this team fell to number 5 in the draft lottery. In a draft class that's really a three-headed monster with Victor Wembanyama, Scoot Henderson, and Brandon Miller. So obviously Pistons fans are probably not too happy right now, but they're still potentially going to be getting a really good player in Cameron Whitmore. That's our goal today, is to get this team a championship. As always, let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. I know you guys want the historic rebuilds, and we have a really fun historic rebuild coming tomorrow. I've been setting up for it. It took me like an hour to prepare it, but it's coming tomorrow. Let me know any other video ideas down below. But yeah, also let me know your thoughts on Cameron Whitmore potentially to the Pistons at number 5. I think this is probably the best pick if he is available there. Obviously, we know who the top 3 players that it will be taken are, and potentially number 4 for the Houston Rockets. So let me know your thoughts on this one down below. Small forward is definitely a position of need for Detroit, so I think this one makes a little bit of sense. But let's get into it. We got 5 years, hopefully get this team a championship. All right, so we are officially here, and we're actually past the draft right now, and the reason that we're past the draft is because I have to go ahead and make picks with the other 4 teams that are ahead of us here in Detroit, and because sometimes this game's a little weird, and it makes picks that it probably really wouldn't in real life. But obviously, Cameron Whitmore was our draft pick at number 5. Very excited to build around him. We also have the first overall pick in round 2. Obviously, round 2 is not done by the lottery, so worst team gets the number 1 overall pick. And we took Max Lewis. I'm not going to lie, I don't know a bunch about him, and I'm not going to pretend that I do. But obviously, Cameron Whitmore's our guy. He's 19 years old, 6'7". He's a 77 overall. He's going to be starting the entire video. That's how these prospect rebuilds work. And I'm very excited to have him here nonetheless. So team player options. Let's just get into this team a little bit. Obviously, this is not a realistic rebuild. We all know that. So we're going to be bringing back everybody, and then we'll make some trades. But adding Cameron Whitmore to arguably one of the best young cores in basketball is really good, especially in a 5-year rebuild when we're going to have some time to develop these guys. Jared Rhoden probably not going to be getting a qualifying offer at a 69 overall. We hit free agency, obviously not a tremendous free agency class by any means, but there's definitely some things we can do with this team if we want to go ahead, and we really want to build ourselves up from day one. So let's just go over this a little bit. Cade Cunningham had an incredible rookie season. Didn't win Rookie of the Year, but still played absolutely incredible in this second season. This past season, as I mentioned, only played 12 games, was injured. I think he's going to be great. I mean, he's already an incredible talent. He progresses very well. He'll be here the entire time. Killian Hayes, the MVP of the Chinese Basketball Association. No, I'm just playing. He actually progresses somewhat well, so we'll see what we end up wanting to do with him. Obviously, former number 7 overall pick. Hasn't worked out as well as many people maybe hoped, but he actually plays decent in 2K, so we'll see. We'll go from there. Jaden Ivey, who I was super high on, he went 5th overall last year. Back-to-back number 5 overall picks for the Pistons. He had an incredible rookie season. He progresses really well. He's not going anywhere. And then Burks, Hampton, and then obviously we just drafted Max Lewis are interesting ones for me. I kind of want to get Max Lewis some minutes. I know RJ Hampton is only 22, so we'll see. And then Burks I brought back. He'll probably be traded. Bojan Bogdanovic, obviously, here came over from Utah. He's 34. It's not a bad veteran presence to have on the team. He's just, the age doesn't really fit. It just really doesn't. Whitmore, obviously, than Isaiah Levers. Marvin Bagley got a new start here in Detroit after some not so good years with the Sacramento Kings. We'll see. He's only 24, and then we have 22-year-old Isaiah Stewart right here as well. So some good young pieces here. I'm super high on Jalen Duren. You guys saw, I think, what was it, 4 or 5 videos ago at this point? I did a fantasy draft expansion rebuild, and Jalen Duren won a Finals MVP in year 1. It was ridiculous. And then James Wiseman here as well came over to trade from the Warriors. So there's definitely some things we can do with this team. We have some trades coming. The Lakers want to give me 2 first-round picks for Alex Burks. I have no idea why, but one's a protection backup. But nonetheless, I'm going to take the trade. It's a first-round draft pick. That is definitely fine by me. So we move on from him. Ultimately, really, again, it's kind of similar to Bojan Bogdanovic. Doesn't really fit the timeline. I think in real life, it's a lot more important to have the veteran presence than it is in this game. And, yeah, we now have, I guess, full keys to the kingdom for Jaden Ivey at the shooting guard spot. He had that anyways. For Bogdanovic here, I'm interested to see what sort of offers I get. He has 3 stars in trade value, which really doesn't surprise me too much. This is an unprotected first-round pick from the Bulls, it looks like, which could be valuable. There's definitely an argument to be made for taking that trade. Unless I find something a little bit better. This is a top 5 protected pick from the Magic. I don't love it. So what I would really want to do here is maybe look at a team like the Thunder who have a bunch of picks that aren't their own. And then let's check this out. So this is a Wizards unprotected pick in 2024 and a Clippers unprotected pick in 2026. And the reason I'm kind of leaning towards doing this trade is because obviously Bojan Bogdanovic is still a pretty good player. But if I'm trading him to the Thunder, the picks don't really matter. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously these aren't picks from the Thunder. So you know what? That was explained horribly, but you got my point. We're going to take that trade, 2 unprotected draft picks. He's a good player, but the future is now we're giving Cameron Whitmore full starting minutes. Not that we weren't anyways, but you know what I'm saying. And yeah, so I wouldn't mind getting a better backup small forward. I don't think the worst idea in the world, and I know I just traded one, which is obviously kind of comical. And then other than that, I think we're probably just going to roll with the punches with what we got. Again, I don't expect us to be contending for championships in year one, but obviously in a 5-year rebuild, you can be a little more patient, take your time, sit back, and let some guys develop. So we're going to probably move Isaiah Levers and maybe even Hampton. Is he a free agent after this year? Actually, no, definitely. Oh, no, he does. Okay, which means I can probably a little bit more comfortable trading him. So we're kind of stripping down some of the things we have just to build it back up, if that starts to make any sense. And the Bulls actually want to give me, that's a Portland pick. Wow. Okay, that actually would have been good to know back in the Bogdanovic trade, but is what it is. And I'm not saying Isaiah Levers has to be traded, but if I can find a little bit of a better backup, I'm going to do it. And ultimately getting a first-round pick from the Hornets could end up being valuable as well. So in terms of small forwards, former Detroit Piston Chris Middleton is here. Obviously, there are some options here. I don't know. Jalen McDaniels is here. Hamidou Diallo. Do I do this? And there's the funniest fucking move. You know what? I don't even care. How much does he want? $17 million for Dylan Brooks. That's hilarious. I'm going to do it, though. I don't really care. We have a ton of money, obviously, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, we have... I'm so stupid. I completely forgot that we actually already had Hamidou Diallo. I'm just going to bring him back. I think that probably makes a lot more sense. And, yeah, wants less money. I'll give him actually a 4-year deal just because in the 5-year rebuilds, it's easier to have guys under team control for longer. So, welcome back, Hamidou Diallo. I'll see you guys at the start of year one. It's the start of year one for us here in Detroit. Obviously, we have really established one of the best young cores in basketball, and things are looking pretty good right now. We're not contenders. We're probably not even going to be in the playoffs. But years down the line, I think we're going to be up there with some of the best in the league. Incredible backcourt of Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey. Very excited to see how they play together this upcoming season. We have Cameron Whitmore, obviously, who we just took 5th overall. Marvin Bagley in here in the starting lineup. And then Jalen Duren, who actually is so incredible, especially in this game. It's ridiculous. He plays insanely well, and he'll probably be my center for the entirety of this video. Bench is actually pretty decent. I'm going to give Hamidou Diallo the nod as the 6th man. I'm doing that for one, because our lowest overall in the starting lineup is Cameron Whitmore. Obviously, Diallo being a backup small forward. Not the worst idea in the world. And then I also don't like big men being my 6th man, and the 2 highest overalls are Wiseman and Stewart. So it doesn't make much sense. They both will be playing, though, followed by Killian Hayes and then Max Lewis, who we took with the #1 overall pick in round 2. Things are on the up and up, man. Let's see how year one goes. I'll see you guys at the end of it. 42-40 is the record at the end of year one for us here in Detroit. So we're pretty mid, to be honest, but the future is definitely bright. Honestly, 42 wins is more than I thought we were going to have. I can definitely take that for a year one. We also have some draft picks that could be potentially pretty valuable. Darius Garland winning an MVP, that's 2K for you at its best. Victor Wembanyama obviously went #1 overall to the Spurs. He wins Rookie of the Year. Jordan Poole bouncing back a little bit, winning 6th Man of the Year. Anthony Davis, Defensive Player of the Year. Tyler Hero, Most Improved. JB Bickerstaff, Coach of the Year. I'm wondering something, because I saw Hero and it just, my mind went off. What do you think is going to change in terms of the Heat's rotations in the finals? Because obviously they just tied at 1-1. If and when Hero does come back. Because I'm assuming he's probably pretty close to coming back. We've all seen the footage of him putting up shots. And I know that's obviously very, very different than actually playing an actual basketball game. But I don't know. I mean, somebody obviously has to be an odd man out. Because Tyler Hero is a very good player. I don't know. I mean, after game one, I would have told you it's probably Max Strus. But then he bounced back in a pretty incredible fashion. Duncan Robinson had 10 points to start the 4th quarter and was probably one of the main reasons they won. I don't know. I'll be interested to see what ends up happening. It's a big decision for Eric Spoelstra, who, albeit, is the best coach in basketball, so it won't probably be too hard. Full look at the standings. We actually finished as the 7th seed, so the #1 seed in the play-in, if you will. We'll be taking on the Bulls in round 1. We win that game. we end up taking on the Atlanta Hawks, who that's going to be a fun matchup because Lord knows 2K loves them. Here's a look at the numbers on the year. Our backcourt just playing absolutely incredible. Relatively similar numbers in terms of points and assists for Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey. Obviously great seeing your starting shooting guard put up 8 assists a game. That's incredible. Jalen Duren was unbelievable, 16 points, nearly 10 rebounds a game. Cameron Whitmore, very solid rookie campaign. 15 points, 4.5 boards, assists. I know that it's one of his weaknesses right now. I believe I read on the scouting report that he's not great at finding players on his own team to like pass the basketball to. His court vision isn't amazing. We'll see if we can develop that a little bit. 2 steals a game is awesome. He was around 49% from the field. I can live with that. Then the 3-point percentage, you ideally want to get that up a little bit if he's going to take it. I know that was also one of his weaknesses, I think, the 3-point shooting. I think I saw he's like a 33% 3-point shooter, which albeit 39%, almost 40, is an improvement. Well, we will see. And here's a look at the rest of the numbers on the year for us here in Detroit. Rebounds was Jalen Duren, and assists was Cade Cunningham. So, obviously here, as I mentioned, we have the Chicago Bulls in the first round of the play-in, if you want to call it. It's only one game. Added Bruce Brown. Jakob Poeltl's here as well. Okay. I think we can beat them. And we do, which means we are officially the 7th seed, and as I mentioned, we are going to be taking on the Atlanta Hawks, who is, they're definitely one of 2K's favorite teams. They've added Brooke Lopez, still have John Collins and Yeka Kongu. We got Schroeder off the bench. Oh, Dennis Schroeder's back in Atlanta. That's funny to see. Okay, well, we actually won game 1. We lose game 2. We win game 3. Game 4. Okay, don't blow a 3-1 lead. Thank you. And wow, we pull off the upset against arguably 2K's favorite team. We have the Celtics here in round 2, which is another not so fun team to face. Obviously, some incredible depth here. They've added Mo Wagner and Gary Trent Jr., just more depth that they probably can't afford, but somehow do. We are up 2-1 against them. We're 2-2 against the Celtics right now. We go down 3-2, and that is all she wrote for us. So it was fun while it lasted. We probably got a little bit further than we honestly should have. We have a Pelicans and a Cavs final. Let's see what ends up happening here. And the Cavs go on to win it all. And yeah, Darius Garland. I wish somebody loved me as much as 2K loves Darius Garland. I really do. Let's head into the offseason. Obviously, offseason number 2. Things are really looking good right now. I don't know exactly how many first-round picks that we're going to have this year. We're currently projected number 6 from Washington. We're projected 8 from Portland. That's fucking awesome. But the Spurs have like 3 up there in the top 4, which is just insane. We end up with number 3 and we end up with number 9, which is great. It obviously gives us some flexibility, and we definitely have the option if we want to make some moves. Monty Williams not going anywhere. He got a fat contract. That's not exactly accurate, I don't think. I just kind of signed him. But nonetheless, he came over. He is their new head coach. And I like Monty Williams quite a bit. He'll be staying. All right, so up to the draft with 2 top 10 picks. Obviously, we have a lot of things we can do with this team. What exactly, though? I'm not sure. So I'll find you guys either with a trade or in the draft. Marvin Bagley in the number 9 overall selection. We're going to see if that could possibly get us Kristaps Porzingis, who last offseason signed with the Indiana Pacers, and hopefully it's going to be his only season for them. He'd be a clear-cut upgrade over Bagley. I don't have to move Marvin Bagley, but in terms of the ceiling for Marvin Bagley or the potential, I'm really not going to bank on a miracle happening. So, Porzingis, you want to come over here and you want to play in Detroit? I think you'd be a hell of an addition here. I'd give up my first next year. I don't really think it's going to matter. We'll probably be pretty good by that point. And then, unfortunately, there's really not any other players we could trade here. I mean, unless I want to throw in Hamidou Diallo, which I really don't, to be honest. I'd rather give up the draft picks, I think. So, I don't know if they're going to take this. Honestly, I think I could recuperate a lot of these assets pretty easily, so I'm not really that worried about it. I'd also like to not have to go out number 3, but it looks like we might have to. Okay, this is like an egregious overpay at this point. I feel like I'll give you the Lakers pick, and I'll give you my pick next year. Will you take this? Thank you. All right, that is obviously a ton for one player who, albeit really isn't like a superstar or anything, but we got our guy. It's over with. I can live with it. We do still have the 3rd overall selection, so let's see. Who goes 1? DJ Wagner goes 1. Not really crazy surprise. Ian Jackson goes 2. All right, so we're... Oh, shit, I moved number 3. I'm so dumb. I'm all over the place. I thought I moved 9, not 3. In terms of who we're going to take here, we have a decent backup power forward now with Isaiah Stewart. Xavier Booker could be a decent option for me. Aaron Bradshaw is also here. Backup center is... I mean, I'm fine with Wiseman. I really am. Maybe shooting guard. Maybe point guard as well. Do I take Tyrese Proctor here? You know, let me take Tyrese Proctor. I can live with that pick. I don't know if it's the right pick or not, but backup point guard could be a replacement for Killian Hayes. He's a 75 overall. It is what it is. All 4 of these guys are obviously going to be coming back, qualifying offers. I'll give Stewart 1. I'll qualify Wiseman. Okay. I don't know if I can make an argument for paying Killian Hayes $9 million. I don't think I can. I'm not going to qualify him, especially because we just drafted a point guard. That's a pretty tough sell for me, to be honest with you. I do want to get Wiseman and Stewart back. I'm probably going to let Hayes go. And so we'll see what they end up asking for once we actually hit free agency. So I'm going to not renounce him. I'm going to renounce Hayes and then Stewart and Wiseman. Let's see. I don't suspect they'll ask for a ton of money. I mean, maybe just because this game's so fucking broken, even though... Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. You know, the problem is that I've updated my sliders and it made it somewhat... I don't know if you guys noticed, the sliders have changed over the past, like, week or two. And it's been a little bit more realistic. Unfortunately, this is a big saved file that I've had for, like, since the draft lottery. So, yeah, that's where we're kind of going to get killed. This is a shit ton of money for some backups. I'm not going to pretend that it's not. I'm going to do it just because I think we're going to be able to move on from them at some point relatively easily. But that's crazy giving, you know, $100 million for that. That's just ridiculous. All right, so, yeah, I mean, it's pretty big offseason, I'd say. I'm definitely nervous about those 2 contracts, but we can move them pretty easily. I'll see you guys at the start of year 2. All right, so we had a pretty busy offseason. We went ahead and made a huge trade adding Kristaps Porzingis. Some of you may say it's an overpay, and honestly, you could be right. But I think he honestly could be the final piece in this starting lineup that's honestly looking pretty incredible right now. So here's how it's going to be. Awesome backcourt of Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey. 100% safe. Cameron Whitmore had a pretty solid rookie campaign for us. Hopefully he can build upon that. Kristaps Porzingis, the new addition, and then Jalen Duren here as well. It's a beautiful starting 5. I like it a lot. Hamidou Diallo, James Wiseman, Isaiah Stewart, Max Lewis, and Tyrese Proctor. So 2 young guys down here. Hopefully can develop them a little bit. James Wiseman, who we paid $100 million for 9 and 5. Not exactly ideal. I know I didn't have to do it, and honestly, the only reason I did it is because I know I can trade them so easily, but it's still crazy how even that's like a thing. Because I have the default sliders on right now. In my other rebuilds, I have them updated, so it's normal, but it's just crazy that, like, that's a real possibility. I don't know. For the most realistic basketball game out there. I'll see you guys at the end of year 2. It was an incredible second season for us here in Detroit. We went 55-27, and obviously we're assuming that's probably good enough for one of the top 3 spots here in the Eastern Conference. You have Jason Tatum winning the MVP award. Incredible season from him. DJ Wagner went 1st overall. Wins Rookie of the Year. Markelle Fultz back in Philadelphia, winning 6th Man of the Year. Wow, who would have thought? Anthony Davis, Defensive Player of the Year. Dalen Terry, Most Improved. You don't see that one too often. You really don't, but for him. JB Bickerstaff, Coach of the Year. All right, full look at the standings right now. We finished as the 3 seed here. 65 wins for both the Cavs and the Celtics. That is fucking insane. Okay, when was the last time there were 2 teams with 65-plus wins? Was it in the same conference, I mean? Did those Rockets, whatever year that was, did they win 65-plus games when the Warriors won 73? I don't know. I might be getting my years mixed up. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. Here's a look at the full numbers on the year. Cameron Whitmore's numbers went down a little bit in terms of the scoring. That's expected when you got a guy in Kristaps Porzingis who could easily give you 20 a game. So it makes sense. I can honestly live with it. Okay, so we have the 6-seeded Orlando Magic here. Jalen Noel, Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero. Nikola Vucevic went back to Orlando. We have 2 former players returning to places they once played with Markelle Fultz and now Nikola Vucevic. All right, let's see what ends up happening here. I don't think it's crazy to say that we're the better team. We're up 3-0 right now, and we end up sweeping the Orlando Magic out of their own building. We are facing the Celtics once again. They've added Kyle Anderson and Tyus Jones. Still got Marcus Smart. Okay, this is 3 guards right off the bench. This is an incredibly good team. You just want to have Jason Tatum win an MVP award. I don't think it's... Yeah, that's probably it. Okay, we end up losing in round 2 for the 2nd straight year to the Celtics, which is obviously a little bit unfortunate. You have Jason Tatum and Victor Wembanyama battling it out here in the NBA Finals, and Tatum and the Celtics go on to get it done. Honestly, at least we can say we lost to the team that won it all. I can live with that, in, you know, year 2 anyways. All right, so let's hit the draft lottery. I know I traded a bunch of picks. I think I still saw a Pistons logo there. Yeah, we're projected 13 from Charlotte. I don't know, was this lottery protected or top 10 protected? I forget. We have the pick, so it must have been top 10 protected, which is obviously great. And yeah, we're obviously going to be keeping Monty Williams, and I'll see you guys with whatever's next. We're going to be making this trade here with the Charlotte Hornets. We're going to be sending them James Wiseman, and funny enough, a pick that was once their own. And we're going to be acquiring Talen Horton-Tucker and Dillon Brooks. Now, this might not look like the best trade on paper, but I think getting some guys who are a little bit more veterans than some of the young pieces we had off the bench is not the end of the world. And ultimately, I don't need to draft another rookie that's just going to sit on the bench and develop. So, Talen Horton-Tucker, Dillon Brooks, welcome to Detroit. I don't know if I'm going to keep Dillon Brooks. He's possibly somebody I'm going to move just because I have Hamidou Diallo, and I like Hamidou Diallo. So, Ivy, Duren, and Whitmore obviously all coming back. We look at qualifying offers. Cade Cunningham is going to be a huge free agent for me. He's somebody I definitely need to get back. Max Lewis, I'll qualify. I'd like to bring him back as well. Okay, in terms of free agents, obviously this is an incredible free agency class. We don't really have the money to go out and make a huge splash, but we have to re-sign Cade Cunningham anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. So, we're going to not renounce the right. Jesus Christ, what is this game doing? Why would I auto-renounce Cade Cunningham? Good job, 2K. He still has no real offers, so I'm going to wait and give him just an actual offer from myself. And, yeah, that's a max contract right there. I'll give him a player op. Doesn't matter. He's coming back. Okay, cool. Max Lewis is qualified. I'm assuming he'll probably pick up his option, if I had to guess. We now have a really solid backup point guard option in Talen Horton-Tucker. I don't mind maybe keeping Tyrese Proctor, but if I can find a, maybe just a little bit of a better trade, I might do it. If not, I maybe throw him in with Dillon Brooks, because I do like Hamidou Diallo. I didn't just say that, I do. I might move him and Dillon Brooks, maybe try to find an upgrade at the backup shooting guard spot. We're making this trade with the Sacramento Kings. We're sending them Tyrese Proctor and Dillon Brooks for Kevin Huerter and a top 3 protected pick in 2026. This is obviously an upgrade at the shooting guard spot, or, well, the backup shooting guard spot anyways. And honestly, even though the numbers don't look that great, if we can get him back to like the 2019, 2020, 2021 self, I'd be very happy. Kevin Huerter will likely be my new 6th man. So that is a trade I think we had to make. We're going to go ahead and find ourselves a new backup center as well, or power forward. I know Isaiah Stewart, I believe, was a center when he got drafted, listed as a center, whatever, it doesn't matter. I also know that there could be people saying just move Hamidou Diallo to the shooting guard spot. Well, he has a D 3-point rating, so that's really not going to help us out too much. Kevin Huerter, obviously a good 3-point shooter. So we're good. We add some new backups to this team. In terms of the backup power forward, in terms of the backup center spot, Mo Bamba's not bad. I know I apparently get Nick Richards way too much. I saw a comment, somebody... I said I got him too much, so I'll take a break on signing Nick Richards. But Mo Bamba is also somebody I get a decent amount, I feel like. So I just don't really like Billy Hernangomez as a backup, to be honest with you. Isaiah Hartenstein's not terrible. Jericho Sims is here. He's only 26. It's not awful. I just really wish there were other options for me, to be completely honest with you. This is what happens when you trade your center, who, albeit, was making way too much money. Anybody I could sign? Let me sign like Terrence Mann and then trade Terrence Mann. That's definitely going to give us some flexibility in terms of trades. Again, I know this is not realistic. Hell, I'm not trying to be realistic. So we'll move Terrence Mann, see if we can find like Drew Eubanks. I don't want Drew Eubanks. Oh man, I just want like. Do I take Grant Williams? I don't want to give up that pick, though, especially for Grant Williams. Neesmith. Daniel Gafford. You know what? Give me Daniel Gafford. I like Daniel Gafford. Welcome to the team. All right, we're all set. I know we still have a qualifying offer here on Max Lewis, so we'll see what we end up doing there. But even if he accepts it, he's probably not in the rotation. I'll see you guys at the start of year 3. Year 3 is officially here. We went ahead and made some pretty major moves this offseason. We didn't change anything about the starting lineup, but the bench unit is looking a whole lot better. Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey still obviously our incredible backcourt. No, nothing's going to be changing there. Cameron Whitmore, obviously this is his rebuild, and we're hoping he can still perform at a pretty high level. He's not going to be a 22-point-per-game scorer or anything like that, but honestly, he's fitting into his role quite nicely. Kristaps Porzingis, and then Jalen Duren, who I'm surprised his overall really hasn't gone up. He's been playing pretty well for us. He's solid. You know what you're going to get from him, and I truly do believe his overall should be going up. But that being said, he is still only 21. Bench unit's going to be Kevin Huerter, Isaiah Stewart, Talen Horton-Tucker, Hamidou Diallo, and Daniel Gafford. I think it's looking a lot better than it was last year. Also, Max Lewis accepted his qualifying offer. He's a 78. I kind of feel like I should be playing him, but I'm not going to play him over Kevin Huerter. So we'll see what we want to do with him this offseason. But as of now, this team's looking very good. See you guys at the end of year 2. Year 2? Year 3. End of year 3, it is a second MVP for Darius Garland. We went 69-13. Nice. Obviously, that should be good enough for the top spot in the East. Hell, it should be good enough for the top spot in the league. Zachary Rizinger is your Rookie of the Year. He went 3rd overall to the Indiana Pacers. Incredible rookie season. Tyler Hero, 6th man of the year. I believe that's his second one of those. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe, right? I'm not losing my damn mind. Yeah, he is. Giannis wins D-Point. Hauser Thompson, most improved. Monty Williams does win Coach of the Year for us. Obviously, we are hoping that we can make a pretty long playoff run right now, because I think this team has championship potential. I think we're definitely up there with some of the best teams in the game. And, yeah, let's see if we can just go out and do that. Round one, who are we going to have? It's going to be the 8-seeded Chicago Bulls, Lonzo, Derek White, good addition. Chris Boucher, you got Poku. Okay, so they moved on from DeMar. Still have Levine. Interesting. I think we're, should be beating them pretty easily, but interesting additions there in Chicago. They actually tie it up 2-2. We go up 3-2. We do end up winning in 6. Maybe a little bit more challenging than we hoped for a first-round matchup for a 69-win team, but it is what it is. We're moving on. Atlanta, who we actually beat in year 1. They've made some changes. No longer have DeJounte Murray, but you know what? They're still a pretty good team, and I'm not going to take them lightly. We lose game 1, win game 2. We go up 2-1, up 3-1, and we win in 5. Quick gentleman sweep. 2-seeded Charlotte Hornets. Markelle Fultz, LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, Kai Jones, our old friend James Wiseman. Oh boy, that's a pretty good team right there. We're currently up 2-1. They tie it 2-2. We go down 3-2. We're going to game 7. And we come back from being down 3-2. And we're going to be taking on Lauri Markkanen in the Utah Jazz here in the NBA Finals. Let's take a look at the rest of their team. Colin Sexton, Jett Howard. I don't know how it also, this is hilarious. James Harden, a 6-man off the bench in Utah. I don't know how it always happens. Taylor Hendricks always ends up with Utah here in these rebuilds. I don't know how. Every time I see the Jazz, Taylor Hendricks is their starting power forward. We're up 3-0. Who knows if we'll get back to the finals. It's not an easy thing to do. So I'd like to get a little bit of gameplay with this team. And, yeah, we can chat about the future of the Pistons, I guess. So looks like we're going to be winning this one unless we have a pretty significantly blown lead. But I'll see you guys in there. This will be somewhat quick. I know these 5-year rebuilds are already long enough, so I'll try to make this as quick as possible. But, yeah, man, the future of the Pistons is honestly looking bright. And I'm happy to see that because there was obviously a point for a pretty long time. Oh, good job, Jaden. There was a decent point and decent stretch where it looked like Detroit was lost in no man's land. And honestly, I'm happy they finally ripped the Band-Aid off, decided to tank for a long time. And yeah, man, they're building up this young core that honestly is one of the best in the league. I do feel bad for them on the fact that, they won 17 games or whatever it was this year, and they still didn't even end up with like one of the top 3 players in this draft class who are obviously, the top 3 players for a reason. They're all incredible talents. But I think whoever they ended up getting, that's what I thought. So you stepped out of bounds. I think whoever they end up getting at 5 is still going to be good. Are they going to be the dynamic, franchise-changing piece like a Victor Wembanyama or potentially Scoot Henderson or Brandon Miller would have been? Probably not. But they're still going to be an incredible piece to add to an incredible young core. So very excited to see the future that Detroit ends up having. I think Monty Williams was an incredible, incredible hire. I think it's one that's going to pay off in the long run. I really do. So, yeah, man, let's try to close out the Jazz here. Taylor Hendricks with the putback. We are currently up 12 with 2 minutes left. I don't want to say it's over, but it's pretty much over. Okay, Jay Nivey just letting him go coast to coast, I guess. You see, I want to say, I feel like Detroit can make a big splash and, maybe make a trade with, Portland or somebody. But honestly, I don't think Detroit has, what Portland would be looking for in a trade. Because obviously, if they're trading their number, they have 3rd overall pick? If they're trading that 3rd overall selection, they obviously are doing it with the... Oh, I did not mean to do that. With the hope of going ahead and continuing to build around Damian Lillard, because they're still obviously pretty fucking delusional and thinking they can win a championship with that core that they have now. I don't think Detroit has any pieces that, Portland would want in terms of maybe making that move and trying to, I don't know, entice them in some other way, but I don't see it happening. But it's an interesting idea. But I'll be interested to see, whoa, good shot, what route they end up going with both these teams. I'm excited for the draft. I'm excited for the offseason, but I always say I'm excited for the offseason because obviously as, a rebuilder who puts out, rebuild, that's a stupid comment, somebody who really kind of loves the NBA like all of us do. It's always exciting for the offseason, but then it hits at some point, like a couple weeks into the offseason, and especially after free agency open and it kind of dies down and the draft ends. It's really like, okay, I miss basketball now, and then you got to wait till October. So, I don't know. I am excited for the offseason. Oh, Jesus Christ, Porzingis. I honestly think this could be a pretty telling offseason for a lot of teams. I think a lot of teams are going to have to make decisions on whether they really commit to the grind. I did not mean to pass that, but whatever. I think teams like the Bulls are going to be in there. There's other teams like the Raptors maybe who are going to make some big decisions. So I think those franchises that don't really have a direction need to make a decision this offseason. So I think it'll be a fun offseason. It always is. There's always some major trade. Even the ones we don't expect with shitty free agency classes. Like this one kind of is. It'll be a fun one. All right, we're going to close them out here. Final possession here with Jaden Ivey. I'm just going to do this, this, and that. Oh my God, no way. I'll see you guys with the Finals MVP. We end up sweeping the Utah Jazz out of their own building, and 24-year-old Jaden Ivey out here winning Finals MVP. He played incredible for us. So 2 more seasons to go. Obviously hoping that means 2 more championships. And time will tell. Let's hit the draft lottery. Do we have any picks in this year's lottery? Oh my God, that Clippers pick's unprotected. I don't know what that Kings pick is. But oh my God, we have too many picks for our own good. We end up with number 4 and number 6, which is obviously great. Monty Williams not going anywhere. He's in the final year of his deal. We'll make sure we get him back after this. So up to the draft, obviously 2 more high lottery picks that we probably don't really need. We'll probably make some sort of trade for what? I have absolutely no idea, but let's see. We're going to make this trade here with the Toronto Raptors, sending them Hamidou Diallo, the number 4 overall selection, and a future second for Emmanuel Quickley and Matisse Thybulle. We get a really, really good 6-man here in Emmanuel Quickley. Honestly, I was looking at some of these other trades, and I was kind of laughing just about, like, the possibility, like, I could get Karl Anthony Towns, which is interesting, but he's making nearly $60 million. Jordan Poole is another interesting one. I also considered this one and then realized that Kawhi's making $56 almost million and he's 35 years old. Albeit he's still playing incredibly well, but he would not be starting here, so I don't really feel like that's probably the smartest move in the world. So DeJounte Murray also considered strongly, but honestly, looks like Emmanuel Quickley has better numbers. So we're going to make this trade. We're just going to upgrade the bench, honestly, at this point. I don't really need anything else, so I don't really know what I'm going to do with this 6th overall pick. I don't have any major needs, like, really anywhere. So, I mean, maybe I find a new backup center. Do I take Zubats? It's not the worst thing in the world. Josh Hart I saw there as well. Aaron Gordon? Wow. You know what? Screw it. Let's take Aaron Gordon. We're just going to completely make this bench unbelievable. It's going to be the best bench in the history of basketball. And then we're just going to move this for some... No future picks. Okay, serious. This game is... They make it incredibly hard to trade draft picks for absolutely no reason. Let's head up to team player options right now. I believe Jaden Ivey will be entering free agency. Porzingis is somebody we definitely need to get back as well. Max Lewis, I'll qualify. Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren. I'll probably qualify both of them for this upcoming season just to save money because obviously we just took on 2 pretty big contracts. Holy shit, we have a lot of free agents. Okay, well, Porzingis is obviously my number 1 priority. Well, because he's unrestricted, but you know what I mean. I want to qualify Jaden Ivey because I think that's probably the smart thing to do right now. And I'll qualify Jalen Duren as well. I think these are probably good ideas for now, and then maybe sometime down the line we can figure something else out. I'm going to let Max Lewis go. I will try to re-sign Kevin Huerter, but I'm going to wait until after moratorium. Okay, so we get all these guys back. And can I re-sign Kevin Huerter? Wow, I cannot believe I have the money to do this. It's absolutely insane. Okay, cool. So, yeah, we obviously are going to make some more trades because I did just trade for Emmanuel Quickley. I don't really need Kevin Huerter. Maybe he could be my new backup small forward. Hell, he probably will be. But, yeah, man, I think... Do I honestly just move Isaiah Stewart to the backup center spot? I might. Let's just do it. Where is he? Isaiah Stewart, center. Goes down 1 overall. It's not the end of the world. Okay, so we're going to move Kevin Huerter to the backup small forward spot, and then we're basically all set. This team is just absolutely incredible. 6'7". He goes up to an 85 overall. That's hilarious. All right, we're going to trade Matisse Thybulle for a draft pick. I'll see you guys at the start of year 4. Fresh off a championship, we made even more upgrades. This team is absolutely mind-boggling. We have so much talent and so much depth that I think if we don't win at least 65 games, it's a failure of a season. Here's how it's going to look. It's Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Cameron Whitmore, Kristaps Porzingis, and Jalen Duren, who I don't know why his overall is not going up at this point. It's very, very confusing for me, but he's still playing well, so I'm not going to move him or anything, but gotta love 2K, man. We traded for Emmanuel Quickley and Aaron Gordon. I know they're not typically players that should be getting this little of minutes, I guess, a night, but honestly, the starting 5 is so good that I have to play them the amount of minutes I do. Followed by Kevin Huerter, Isaiah Stewart, and then Taylor Horton-Tucker. This team is fucking insane. See you guys at the end of year 4. What a beautiful way to end our 4th season. Cade Cunningham winning MVP. We go 72-10, which is obviously great. I do think we have the talent to break and hopefully have the best record in NBA history next season. We will see. Koa Pizza Rookie of the Year. He went number 1 overall to the Indiana Pacers, and he played incredibly well. Cooper Flagg, 6th Man of the Year. Victor Wembanyama, Defensive Player of the Year. Bryce Sensabaugh, Most Improved. And Monty Williams, obviously, got to win Coach of the Year with 72 wins. I believe that's, what, 2nd straight Coach of the Year for him, I think? I don't really know. I don't think there's a team that can keep up with us in terms of talent. I mean, this depth that we have is just absolutely insane. And I think we should be well on our way to a second championship. New York here in round number 1. Interesting team. I think we're just way better. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Before I traded for Porzingis, I tried to trade for Julius Randle. New York was not having it. Here is Orlando. I mean, they're good. I just think we're just a lot better than, well, really everybody. Cleveland here in the Eastern Conference Finals. Maybe the one team that can really give us a run for our money just because 2K loves Darius Garland. And then, obviously, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, all incredible, incredible players. So, makes me a little nervous. I don't think it's going to be too big of a problem. We're up 3-0, and, oh, my God, we finally lost a playoff game. That's crazy. We're taking on Utah once again here in the NBA Finals. We know what this team looks like. They are obviously very, very good. I just think we're a whole lot better. We win in 6. Cade Cunningham wins Finals MVP as well. All right, time for the final offseason. I don't know if we have any more draft picks, especially in the lottery. I really hope we don't, to be honest with you. I don't want to have to go through all the hoops of trading the picks again. You got Bulls 5 and 6, the Nets 7 and 8, I think I saw. Or was it 4 and 5? I don't know. I do want to go ahead and I want to get Monty Williams back. He was obviously incredible for us. And, yeah, I'd like to have him resign as our head coach. Thank you very much. All right, up to the NBA draft. Let's see what we have. Do we have any other, like, later first-round picks this year? Okay, so we have 3 picks, none of which I really need. Oh, this game. It is so incredibly challenging to trade for picks, and it really shouldn't be. Let's head up to team player options right now, see what we got. We have absolutely nothing. I know we're going to have some free agents. Cameron Whitmore is obviously going to be one. I think we also are going to have Jaden Ivey, which means we're probably going to have to make some tough decisions at some point. Obviously, Jaden Ivey is my #1 priority right now. Cameron Whitmore will just be qualified. It's his final season. There's no reason for me to do anything else. And then I'm going to wait on Isaiah Stewart and Taylor Horton-Tucker. If I lose one of them, it's not the end of the world. I cannot lose Ivey or Whitmore, though. So we'll wait on them. Jalen Duren's also a free agent. I don't know if I just didn't see him or what the hell happened there, but my bad. I did not see him. Is he? Oh, no, he's right here. Hopefully it allows me to get all these guys back. I don't know if it's going to. Okay, we're good there. If I have to pick one of these 2 guys, I'm assuming it's... Yeah, okay. So we're going to lose out on Isaiah Stewart or Taylor Horton-Tucker unless we make some trades. But it's... Honestly, I can live with it for now. I think Emmanuel Quickley will probably have to go. Maybe even Aaron Gordon. Let's make some trades. I know how bad this looks on paper, but honestly, we have to save money and we have to recuperate our bench, so we're going to make this trade with the Atlanta Hawks. We're sending them Emmanuel Quickley for Isaiah Loheim, who albeit has been playing pretty well. And honestly, it's not that different than Emmanuel Quickley. I know their minutes are probably a little different, but end of the day, it's not that bad. We can survive that trade, I think. I'd like to get Isaiah Stewart back. He's probably my #1 priority, and then Taylor Horton-Tucker. Hopefully he accepts the deal, and he does. And then do we have the money to get Taylor Horton-Tucker back? No, we do not. Okay, so basically it comes down to, do I want a different backup point guard and keep Aaron Gordon or not? I mean, if I find a great trade that saves me money, I'll probably make it. If not, I'll just sign somebody on the minimum. It's not the end of the world. Walker Kessler's fun. I mean, honestly, at this point, would I take... I mean, his numbers aren't that great, but his overall is... Yeah, I honestly, I don't really love any of these. I'll just let Taylor Horton-Tucker go, and I will sign somebody else. He's going to let me sign Monte Morris. It is. Okay, we'll bring in Monte Morris. That's fine by me. All right, I will see you guys at the start of the 5th and final year. We've now won back-to-back championships, and this team is still looking as incredible as ever. We obviously lost Emmanuel Quickley. We had to make the trade to recuperate some pieces on our bench, but honestly, it's fine. There's still an incredible amount of talent here, and this team's absolutely insane. It's Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Cameron Whitmore, Kristaps Porzingis, and Jalen Duren, who still is an 84 overall, or well, he was an 83 last year, but you get my point. Ridiculous. Isaiah Loheim will take over the 6-man spot from Emmanuel Quickley. We went from an 88 overall to an 84, but it is what it is. Aaron Gordon, Kevin Huerter, Isaiah Stewart, and Monte Morris. I will see you guys at the end of the 5th and final year. So we don't break the record for most wins in NBA history, but we still go 66 and 16, and I'm assuming that's probably good enough for the 1 spot. Victor Wembanyama wins MVP. I'm surprised we haven't seen him in the Spurs in the finals. Well, I think they made a finals, but I mean against us. Jamal McKnight Jr., Rookie of the Year. He was the first overall pick by the Wizards, and he had a good rookie season. Anthony Black, 6th Man of the Year in Golden State. Victor Wembanyama wins Defensive Player of the Year. Zachary Rizichure, Most Improved. And what? Oh, this game never fails to surprise me. First of all, I'm surprised that a team had a better record than us. Second of all, who the hell is Ken Blake, and why is Greg Popovich's picture being used for him? God bless 2K. Oh, good Lord. All right, let's take a look at the standings. Funny enough, it was the Spurs, so, I mean, I guess you just can't get rid of Popovich. Maybe you can fire the man but not fire his photo? I don't fucking know at this point. This game surprises me more and more every day. Wow, really, really solid season from Isaiah Loheim off the bench as a six-man. Rebounds was Jalen Duren, and assists was Cade Cunningham. All right, who we got? Round one. It's going to be the 8-seeded Miami Heat. Heat culture is alive and well. Jimmy Butler's down to an 85 overall. Kind of sad to see, honestly. He's 38 years old. All right, was that Scotty Barnes off the bench? Wow, I feel like you got to start him somehow. I don't know. We are currently, just running them out of the building. Cleveland here in round two. Again, pain in the ass. They've added Miles Bridges. You have Donovan Clingan with a fucking awesome name. And, I think, again, they're just going to be more of a pain in the ass than anything. I think we're clearly the better team. But, we end up winning in 5. All right, 3-seeded Bucks. Funny enough, this team's insane, but funny enough, you don't typically see the Bucks in these rebuilds. It's weird. They regress way faster than they really should. But you have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Giannis with, like, Dyson Daniels all on the same team. I mean, that is just scary as all hell. They definitely have the best player in the series. There's no arguing that. They have the best 2 players in the series. We're up 3-2. We are back in the finals. And we're going to be taking on Chet Holmgren and the Oklahoma City Thunder here, who are starting Jose Alvarado and, added Karl-Anthony Towns. All right, they're good. I just think we're better. I really do. We're up 3-0, and we sweep them. And Cade Cunningham, another finals MVP. All right, so we ended the video with, what is that, 3 championships and a hell of a team, and I had a ton of fun with this one. Obviously, this was the Cameron Whitmore Pistons rebuild. He ended up being a 90 overall. Here is a final look at his numbers. Again, not a superstar by any means, but a star in his own right. It looks like he does a lot of things at a very, very high level, and I'm very happy that it worked out the way that it did. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. I know these 5-year rebuilds can be long as hell, and I know some of you guys enjoy the 5-year long rebuild, some of you don't. So I try to find a good balance of the prospect rebuilds. And, this one was obviously an overwhelming success, and I had a good time doing it. So let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. Obviously, there's probably a few other prospect rebuilds we can do. I'm not going to do one for every single lottery pick or anything like that. It feels like a little bit of overkill. And, we're at a weird point in the NBA season right now because obviously there's the finals going on right now, and we are eventually going to get to do off-season rebuilds for those 2 teams. But other than that, I guess it's time for historic rebuilds. We've got a super fun one coming tomorrow, and you guys are going to enjoy it, I promise. All right, that wraps this one up. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.